Hi friends. Ooh, I like my skirt with my chair. Ooh, this is cute. This week has felt like I'm so close to the finish line. I am so close to putting all of the pieces together and to understanding what goes where. I feel like my life is going to elevate really soon and really quickly. And I don't necessarily have evidence for that's going to happen, but I feel it so deeply within myself that it must be. It feels like my present and my future are starting to converge into one, and I'm about to live the future I want to live very soon. Last week I talked a lot about feeling a little disillusioned with my friendships and building community where I'm at, and I've been sitting with those thoughts this whole week, and I've been accepting my solitude. I feel like I have been villainizing my solitude. I think because in the past it felt like I didn't have an option but to be in solitude because I grew up an only child. I went through experiences that felt very isolating. I didn't feel like I was able to speak up with people and connect regarding my emotional state. It felt like I didn't have the support that I desired, and that was the only option I had, was to be with myself, get to know myself, support myself, and not necessarily expect anything from anyone. It seems to me that I have villainized solitude because I expected the older I got, the more freedom I would obtain, which I have. But for some reason, I thought freedom meant like the freedom would open the doors to more community, which that is still the case, but I don't think I realized it takes two people to do that. It takes a partnership to do that. It takes an agreement for that to flourish. Because I am accustomed to solitude, I decided it was best for me to remain in solitude than to invest in relationships that didn't necessarily fill up my cup. But now I'm coming to the conclusion and to the realization that this solitude that I have felt, this kind of separation I have been given in this lifetime, this level of time alone, it truly, truly has been a gift. I don't think I would be at this level of self-awareness if I was not essentially forced into solitude. I don't think I would be at this level of confidence. I wouldn't want to hold this level of authority that I have for myself over my life if it wasn't for the hours, the days, the years of simply finding ways to enjoy my company alone. And I realize that not many people have that luxury. Not many people have a life where their only responsibility is to take care of themselves and to live a life that brings them joy. There are so many things that are piled on that strip you away of your self-identity, and you don't necessarily have the time or the energy to get to know yourself and know what you really want. And this is similar to what I talked about last week, but truly it's been so life-shifting to understand that, like, wow, solitude is where you develop yourself, and it's the only place where you can truly develop yourself. I saw this post the other day, I guess because I've been talking about this, it's what my feed is full of right now. But I saw a post, or multiple posts, that said, solitude is where your genius lies. People who are willing and wanting and destined to live a life of absolute beauty and fulfillment can survive being alone. It takes so much determination to willingly take yourself away from people. I mean, we were built to be loved by others. We were built to embrace others, embrace our families, embrace our friends. That is what life is about. That is a big portion of what life is about, in my opinion. And to make the conscious decision to strip away all of the distractions, really develop the understanding of what your brain is trying to articulate, what your essence wants to express, that can only be done in nothingness. I think solitude is in many ways a void, and I think that it's only out of nothingness that we can create something beautiful. I don't know, like this past week, I think I felt so much pressure to just constantly do things and make my presence known. I think this week I recognized that not only is there an internal voice of me, like there is a voice in my head that comes from myself, but there's an internalized voice of a father, of a mother, of these people who shaped who I am, who were given the task to help me become a functioning person in society, that taught me the ways of the world. And in a lot of ways, their voice is still in the forefront of my mind instead of my own. And I'm realizing that all of this pressure I feel to do, to chase, to achieve, to conquer, is from a wounded masculine. A wounded masculine that I was taught. I was taught to go after what I want. I was taught to consistently be on top of things, to always make sure that I am giving 110%, that I'm always on my A game, that I'm always turned on, that even if it wasn't intentional, that rest is laziness, that doing nothing isn't worth your time. The more that I recognize that this wounded masculine has been leading my life, the more I realize why I have been constantly putting myself in situations that do not serve me. I am not meant to be a son. I am meant to be a daughter. I am meant to rest. I am meant to be invited to things. I am meant to be affirmed through compliments, through deep conversations. I am supposed to be filled up in the way the feminine deserves to be. And that is through service. That is the masculine's job, is to serve the feminine, is to protect the feminine. And I think in many ways that is what society has been forcing women to believe. All these things to do, to be, to embody. No wonder we're all drained. No wonder we're all so tired. Like this week, I have gone to work, did my job, and have come home. I have created a beautiful, cozy space in my room. I bought a new fuzzy blanket. I've been rewatching Game of Thrones, and I just rest. I rest in my bed for hours until I am ready to go to work the next day. And my body has been thanking me so deeply. Like, why am I always supposed to have something to do? Why is me doing things a topic of conversation? Why isn't it, what do you think? What are you thinking about? What are you feeling? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? What are your passions? Those are the things that the feminine wants to talk about. Those are the things that I want to talk about. Clearly, because that's what this podcast is about. And I think there are so many women out there that would love to give their opinion, their true, unfiltered opinions that come from the heart, that come from intuition, that come from knowing how to read a room, knowing what it is that you need before you need it yourself. And this masculine world sees it as a threat, almost. This masculine world doesn't know what to do with an intuitive woman. I want people who resonate with this message, that resonate with womanhood or femininity or both, to recognize that you don't need to meet a deadline with your life. You don't need to race against time. In fact, the more you slow down, the faster you're going to get to your goal. The more that you rest, if you truly allow yourself to soak up everything that's around you, to behold all of the beauty you have built for yourself, to appreciate the home you live in, to appreciate the body that your spirit is using as a vessel in this life, to take care of your skin, take care of your hair, take care of your body, feel beautiful in the clothes that you wear. The world is your oyster. The world is your oyster because you are recognizing the value within yourself. You're recognizing your worth by taking it slow, by knowing that you are the compass, not anyone else. It is you. It is your intuition. It is your voice. That is what's guiding you throughout this life. That is the one thing you need to be listening to. Not everybody else telling you that you need to accomplish XYZ. You being in this body, you living, you existing, is accomplishment enough. Give yourself that praise. Embody that. Because truly, I have never felt closer to the finish line than when I stopped running for it. I think that's it for today. I hope this resonated with somebody out there. And I really, really appreciate all of the people who have been watching my podcast, who have been supporting me, uplifting me, giving me so many beautiful words to keep going. Love y'all. See you next week. Bye.